episode of the Fancy Ramen podcast, we will be analyzing and hence spoiling 13 Reasons Why, as well as entertaining some spoilers for A Handmaid's Tale, The Get Down, and Legion. You have been warned. You're listening to the Fancy Ramen podcast, episode 13.
That's supposed to be a spittoon sound.
You know, I could always add that in later.
There we go. That's what I want.
I'm Neil.
I'm Scott.
I'm Lizzie.
It's your boy Cookie.
And it's beautiful April 30th, 2017.
Anyone excited for May Day baskets tomorrow?
Ooh.
It's been really cold outside
gosh,
the past couple days.
Yeah.
Well, you hear there's a chance we're going to have slush tomorrow, or sleet.
What?
Gross.
Wait.
Yeah, slight chance.
I'm black. Mayday baskets?
What?
What?
You've never heard of this?
Man.
Oh my God.
Have we done Mayday baskets since
No,
I've
I
known
used
you?
to as a kid. You do it as a kid. So basically, you have baskets for all your neighborhood friends, and you go ring their doorbell, and you have to run away, and they chase you back to your house, and you try not to get tagged.
And you leave them a basket of like candy
Yeah.
or small goodies.
Well,
and
we
stuff.
already know why you didn't do this as a kid, because if you did, you'd get shot.
Yeah, you can't go around chasing white kids. Oh, man.
It was
That's too bad.
fun.
It is actually a really fun tradition.
We used to wait by the door after school on that day.
Yeah, you wait,
So
you
you
like
could
get ready to
chase
pounce
them.
on
Yeah.
somebody.
Why is this not really a thing for adults?
Because it's
God,
I
it'd be
wish
awesome.
it was, honestly.
just like there are, I never participated, but I knew people that did these games on campus where you would, is it called like Assassination or something? You'd carry around Nerf guns
We did that.
and
Yeah.
shoot each other, like shoot your target, that sort of thing.
Oh, that sounds cool.
They actually took away the Nerf guns.
They took
Yeah.
all of our Nerf guns
They
away
said
in
that we couldn't do
college.
it anymore.
That's dumb.
Yeah, because my floor, we all had guns and we were all prepped. As soon as Fighting Words came on, it was just go time.
Bam.
Cookie's got a bug out bag with like with some of those Nerf grenades in it.
I figured you'd just use tennis balls at that point.
Throw a smoke through the hallway. We gotta go.
So how does that work in terms of having Nerf bullets, where I'm assuming a lot of people have the same guns?
No, we all had different guns,
Yeah.
but everyone would just like pick up whatever Nerf bullet would actually fit in their gun. And then a lot of people were modding guns as well.
I think they
So we
only
had
have
modding
a,
sessions.
they only have a couple of sizes of like Nerf dart with the interior like diameter being a couple different sizes. So
But it's not like
the
super
length,
off.
yeah, the length of the dart can change and whatnot, but it's just pushing air through. So as long as like it's able to slide off effectively enough and get that air for the push, you can use about anything.
So yeah, your gun would jam and you'd be like, gun's jammed.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Just
If you're
like in
using
real
bad
life.
ammo.
Yeah.
Totally. Except you can't put like a 5.56 into like a Glock. You'd just break the gun.
No, let's not get too technical here. Lizzie, it's been a while since we've had you on.
I know.
Why don't you talk about what you've been up to?
I've been catching up on my shows.
What shows are those?
So I've been watching Harlots and Handmaid's Tale recently. And, well, I guess I finished 13 Reasons Why, too. So we can talk about that.
So what's Harlots about?
Harlots, actually, I really like that show. It's about England back in the day. I'm not sure what year they're trying to do. And it's kind of about prostitution and how it used to be legal. And it was kind of a way for women to be independent back in those days, where she could actually earn wages and be like her own woman and not rely on a man.
Oh, so it's less about the sex, because every time I turn around while you're watching that show, it's either broad with pox about to die or someone's having sex with someone else.
Well, and that's the other thing I kind of like about that show is they are expressing women in a sexual way. You know, the women mostly enjoy their jobs and stuff. And so it's like saying it's okay for women to enjoy sex type of thing, which is rare in a lot of shows, I think.
I don't think it's okay for anyone to enjoy sex.
Yeah, I thought the British were like strictly about for procreation. Like, get down to business, have your cup of tea afterward.
So that show says it's okay for
Quite.
women to enjoy sex.
Right.
And then I saw you watching another show where it seemed kind of like rape, but the most dispassionate rape ever.
Yes. And that would be Handmaid's Tale, where, oh my God. Okay. I almost don't want to say anything about this show because I want people to watch it because it is so amazing / disturbing.
So-
it's so good.
What I understand is like reader of some of Margaret Atwood's other stuff. I've got the basic premise, and it's a dystopian novel, right? That it's
Yeah.
based off of,
Yeah.
also known as The Handmaid's Tale. And it's got some sort of like class structure, at least between the men and the women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that there's an admiral involved or a general or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
or a colonel. He's got some sort of
Commissioner,
rank.
I think is his
Yeah.
name. I don't know.
Commissioner Gordon.
It sounds kind of like an autocratic society in a sense, or fascist.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
Okay.
a little bit, except extremely like sexist. So
Is
like
there a
the women don't really have any rights.
Right, and that's the other thing too. Is I think there's the dispassionate rape you're talking about is
Yeah.
like that's just down to business. The women are like performing a duty when that's happening. Right,
Like
Yeah.
the actual character compares herself to like a pig because she's basically just being used for the purpose of giving birth type of thing.
Oh man.
Yeah. So it's really, really interesting. So like what her character is or what she is a handmaid. And those women are basically women who are fertile, who are just there for, making babies.
Yeah.
And they actually are put in a family where it's like a father and a wife or a dad, a husband and a wife.
Father and a wife.
father and a wife, a husband and a wife, and the wife is infertile. So they and it's almost like there are like subclass citizens where the handmaids are only used for those purposes.
They're a forced surrogate. then.
Right, pretty much.
Mm. And then is there a surveillance aspect to it as well? I thought that they were under some sort of like
Basically,
they have to
it's
operate
like,
in secret.
yeah, pretty much because the whole society it's kind of like one of those societies where you really can't say anything, otherwise you would be killed, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have to do things in secret. It's kind of like any society that gets taken over by like a dictator or something.
Gotcha.
So, question, I'm pretty sure it hasn't been answered from where you're at. And you said you have not read the books nor watched the movie.
I just divulged all the information that I think I know.
Yeah,
Where
I
did-
want to read the book now.
Where did artificial insemination go throughout all of this rather than dispassionate rape?
I kind of agree with that, but I think it's the whole men having power to say that they're going to do this type of thing. I think it's still like a power thing where they're like, well, we can basically do whatever we want type of thing. Like they pretend like this is something they have to do in order for the population to, keep going. But I feel like it's also like their power play, like we can do this to you type of thing.
I'm also willing to pitch that I know that The Handmaid's Tale is an older novel.
Right.
So it was
is.
written
It's
in
been
like
around for a long time.
1985.
Oh,
So artificial insemination might have been an emergent. I don't know.
I don't know
that
when it came out. Yeah.
But I've got a feeling that it was probably not as well established as it is now. Like,
okay.
Well,
I
and
can
plus,
dig that.
when societies kind of do go into this or more conservative thing, it's a lot of times it's kind of anti-science stuff because they are, quoting like scripture and like stuff like that, like almost like a different religion.
Are they churning butter at any point in time?
No.
Do they churn butter?
No.
They look like they should be churning
That's how
butter.
you know how regressive you've gotten if
Right.
you go back to churning butter.
Oh, you know what? They actually did in one of the episodes say they make their own bread, and they
Oh,
said
okay.
it's like going back to the roots or
Or
stuff
it's
like that.
Or it's an artisanal, like gentrified neighborhood. Who knows?
I make my own bread.
Well, you have regressed to the point of no return.
You're either super hip or like really, really regressive.
Not Too regressive yet, Massa. I'm sorry.
Look at that sweater. I think he's hip.
So even though the book came out in 1985, it actually does. From what I've seen, Hulu released 3 episodes, so I've seen all 3, and it does. I think they did modernize it a little bit so that it would be like it could happen today.
So, final segue. You said something about dispassionate rape and men having power.
Yeah.
You've got some things about 13 Reasons Why.
And actually, I've got 2 questions too, for that matter. One which will be just as good of a segue.
Oh, sweet.
The first one, is there an element or a hint towards rebellion, like 1984-esque?
Oh, in Handmaid's Tale?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the premise, is the protagonist is at least somewhat aware of how unfair
Fucked
and
up it
unnatural
is.
the situation is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
She seems very displeased.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, everybody is, but they are
Except
afraid
for
of getting
dispassionate
killed.
rape guy.
Dispassionately displeased.
Well, because the men have power,
don't
so
like this.
they're not complaining about the society.
They're not
because they
complaining.
can do
They're
what
just
they want.
kind of dispassionate about the situation.
No, I think he's actually putting on a false face for his wife, because his wife is holding her down as this is happening. So yeah, so I think the guy is trying not to show his pleasure because his wife is there, type of thing. But
that's rough.
yeah,
It was real uncomfortable to watch.
So I'm curious. You say that they released 3 episodes, and I'm assuming they're releasing chunks like that.
right. I think so. I think that's what they're doing.
So for the next show, you'll be talking about 13 Reasons. Did Netflix release the series all at once?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes,
It's
in classic
Netflix.
Netflix fashion.
Yeah. Which I like, because then I can binge watch.
So who all has seen it to completion?
I've seen the last 2 episodes to completion, and
Did you watch those with me?
Kind of. I got distracted from my Persona 5. It was that interesting.
Yeah.
Like I could be eating a Star Burger, but oh my gosh, what is going on over here?
I think I actually started doing that challenge.
And have you guys seen it?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just started watching it.
Yeah, I
Neil.
just got through episode 1, and I don't tend to watch really depressing media, so I'm
Neither
kind of
do
scared
I.
to keep pushing forward.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is kind of like a drama. So
You get
it's-
everything you need from the last episode. That's it.
That being said,
says the guy who hasn't seen the rest of it.
that being said, don't shy away from spoilers, and
Okay.
we'll heavily mark. In fact, we're gonna have someone record a spoiler remark for the start of this episode too. So
Spoilers!
There you go.
but yeah, don't shy away. Tell us what you think about 13 Reasons Why.
So I think it's good and bad. I think it's good because it gets people talking about these issues like suicide and rape and all those things. But I think it could have done some things better in the show. For example, I guess, so in the show, the girl is kind of slut shamed because this picture comes out with her like in her skirts kind of open and like
It's an upskirt shot.
right. It's an upskirt.
Some guy
shot.
takes an upskirt
Yeah.
shot of her.
And then
and
that's
then it
her
gets
fault.
passed around the school.
Yeah, and so she's a slut
So
for
she's a
getting that
slut.
picture taken of her.
Right.
Makes sense.
And the show, like, so
No.
various times, you know, it has this kind of slut shaming thing. And the show just portrays her as being this, you know, innocent of these so-called crimes. And so, like, it's kind of like they're saying, like, that because she's innocent, that it shouldn't be happening. But even if she were doing these things, even if she was a sexually active teenager,
It's still
she
not
shouldn't
okay.
be slut shamed, you
Yeah.
know? So, and that's like one of my problems with it is they're like, oh, well, she's innocent. So, you know, like you shouldn't be doing that. Well, you shouldn't be doing that either way type of thing. And so that's one of my problems with it. The other is I think teenagers who are depressed and, you know, because it's hard when you have that many hormones going on in your body and it just, I don't know. Being a teenager is hard enough already. And when you get put on this show where, you know, you have this person who commits suicide and they're remembered and they made everybody who made them mad, you know, they
Have
made
an
them
emotional
feel
response.
bad.
Yeah, they had
guilty.
a huge impact on their community.
Right. And so it's kind of looks like an out to me. I think it makes it look like an option. And
I think the show itself can never escape the fact that it's a slight romanticism of
Right,
suicide,
exactly.
in the sense that it exists because of the impact of her death. Like
Right,
that's how the
right.
narrative is pushed forward. At the same time, though, the fact that it's trying to like a deal and address with it makes it a huge catch-22.
Right. Exactly. Because I do feel like it does romanticize it. Like, well, if I do this, then I will be remembered, or people will, realize their mistakes and stuff.
I'll throw a bone to Selena Gomez and her mother, who were behind 13 Reasons Why, which still surprises me. Like,
Right.
They were the catalysts too.
Selena
Right.
Gomez, political activist, child star of like
Disney.
legend. Yeah.
Right.
Well, she's actually like a pretty involved activist in the things that she does, which I find first off like surprising, but also inspiring that
Yeah.
she didn't
Right.
just put out an album and then disappear like
Right.
so many other like child stars, which granted, that also is a fine option, make your money and get out of it. But
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
she's using her fame to like really try and enact a positive social change. So
Right.
I respect her for that. What I'll say is like the reason I'll pitch that the romanticism of it or like the impact on the community, I don't like that, and I agree with you on it that the whole show exists, and the death of Hannah Baker is what each episode like gravitates around,
Right.
which gives her death a huge amount of impact, and that's something that I think if you're like have suicidal ideation, one of the
Right.
things that you have is this thought of like, this is how it will affect people, or the opposite is like, this won't affect people whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But by romanticizing the effect, that's not good. In the exchange,
Right.
her suicide and how they go about that near the end and the depiction of it is not romanticized.
Right.
It is
It's
incredibly
gruesome.
gritty and
Mhm.
and it's cruel and it's disgusting and so it truly does like capture accurately,
Right.
I think
How
truly like what suicide is at
Right.
its core.
Right. And I watched the afterwards with Selena
Me too,
Gomez,
yeah.
and I did like how they talked about how they did try to make the rape scenes really, really uncomfortable because
They were horrible to
right,
watch and they should
yeah.
be.
And they
Yeah.
should be, right. And that's what they were saying. It should be terrible. And so I think it has good and bad things about
Yeah.
the show.
They certainly respected the impact of the things that they depicted. They did not pull any punches.
Hmm.
The
So-
graphic nature of the suicide itself, do you think that was an effort to try and make the concept of suicide less romanticized as a whole? Because
By
I
a long
imagine,
shot.
Yeah.
I imagine that serves as a deterrent for those people that are finding value in suicide throughout the series and then finally face that scene.
They demonstrated exactly what that suicide would have been like.
It was
So-
awful.
So one
Yeah.
thing people have been mentioning that have read the books is she took pills to die in
Mhm.
the books. So I think
Right.
that's actually why they did the
Why they
wrist
changed
slutting
it.
because
Yeah.
wrist slutting.
I was like,
wrist slitting because
Yeah.
at that point, if you take pills, that's just going to be like, took a couple pills, got
I'm
a little
sleepy.
dizzy.
Yeah.
I guess they could have
done.
been like, she hit her head and died from that.
Or she just starts like turning purple and vomiting,
Or that.
from
but with that, that's
like a pill OD, but that's different too.
there are some, I think I read, I don't know if psychologists support this, but they say that no matter what kind of suicide it is, that you just shouldn't show any on TV because then it'll give people ideas. So I don't know. I don't know what.
Yeah, no, I can see how unfortunately it could trigger ideation.
I wonder how old that like saying and thought
Yeah,
of mine comes to
where
because,
that
like,
advice is coming from and the
because-
context of it.
internet.
Right. Yeah, you could look up anything. But to see it on TV on like a show that a lot of people are watching. So I know this middle school girl and she says all her friends have watched this multiple times. And it's just, to me, it's a little scary because, do their parents know they're watching this? Because it has some pretty disturbing scenes in it. And if they are watching it and they don't really understand what is going on, like who can explain that to them?
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm also willing to give some thought that kids are often more resilient or adaptable to media
True.
and what they consume than what we expect or anticipate.
True.
Like I remember being in middle school and reading some books that had some topics that were way heavier than what I thought I could have like dealt with at that point in time.
Ooh, Steven
Mhm.
Universe.
That's, oh my God. That
Which-
show is so amazing.
That
That show gets real heavy and deep at points.
and
Right.
it is totally for kids.
It's
Yeah.
totally for kids. But
But
sometimes you just
yeah.
like, you just sit back. Even in one of the episodes, Steven was going through some stuff and he's just like, and this is kind of what I'm going through. And all the teenagers in the car were just like, whoa, that's some heavy, messed up stuff that you got on your mind, little guy.
Yeah. I think media these days is being more like it has more respect for actually
the
how
audience.
how intelligent children can be.
True.
Yeah.
True.
It certainly respects the intelligence of the audience as a whole.
But I do see why you've got your trepidations of middle schoolers watching this, because it is clearly labeled a TV MA for mature audiences only.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how necessarily like parental restrictions on Netflix work, and if I don't know it, I'm not a parent, so there's one strike against me like for why I wouldn't be interested. But it's like one of those things, like I'm a very like at least user interface on basic media. I'm experienced with that, so I should know how to do it. And I don't even know.
There's just Netflix kids.
Yeah,
and
so-
Netflix adults.
Exactly. So
Oh, yeah.
if you're an
Not
adult
like a
and you have a
preteen.
Netflix account, like how do you engage a kid about it? The only way to know is
Mhm.
to see
Screen
like,
everything.
well, it's like continue
at your
watching.
history.
Yeah. Or you look at your watch history and it's like, watch again, 13 Reasons Why. And you're like, what's this?
Right.
How
So
many
you-
conversations have been started over parents realizing their kids are watching anime?
Yeah.
So
What?
my parents thought that I really loved the Food Network because Cartoon Network was only a couple of like channel skips away. And so when I'd try and sneak watching Dragon Ball Z, I'd go from like watching, and this is why I don't know the Majin Buu saga very well. It's like watch it, and then here's some footsteps. I go flick, flick, flick. She's like, "Oh,
My
you're
son's
looking at
gonna
him-
be a chef.
Yeah, you're interested in roasted chicken? I'm like, yeah."
Oh my gosh.
So I'm trying to focus on the recipe right now. Do you mind leaving me alone? Flick, 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 flick. Oh my God, Super Saiyan 3. I forgot to watch the Cell series. I didn't know there was a 2. Yeah, so.
I'm curious. In the first episode, the show's really on the nose about, I guess, pointing out the insensitive reactions to Hannah's death that her
Mhm.
classmates have.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
in particular, the two female students that are taking selfies by her locker. And it's infuriating.
That
Right,
is so
right.
a 21st century problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
It's the-
pretty like
it's the stroke by
hot-blooded
death.
after seeing that.
It's the stroke by death selfie. So it's like when all the when all the masks come down from the airplane and people are taking selfies with them on, or that one guy that the plane crashed into the ocean and he's on the life raft and he's taking a selfie with the plane behind him, and
Wow.
it's like touched by death. It's like it's
It's
an
a
actual like
thing.
hashtag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that prominent as the series goes on?
Um,
I
rather?
didn't know that even happened, so it's not in the last 2 episodes.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think
No.
it's super prevalent. Like that I guess fake sympathy or the fake impact. Like I definitely was really upset and disturbed by it for the just short flash that it happened, cuz I guess there's like it's on the nose. It's really good context. Like so I went to Millard South and I was a senior when we had our school shooting. And so like after that, you totally saw that behavior. And it's like really sickening and disgusting to think about and to see it happen, especially when you know that like other people are going through genuine grief and you're trying to sort out like your own emotions. So
Yeah.
that one thing like stood out a lot to me, and I can't think of other things like that throughout the rest of the show as much. And so I feel like I would have like really been impacted by it if it happened more.
Right. Like, I think there was only like one other time later in the show where the mom sees a memorial for her in the school and she's like, oh, well, if you
And
had
it-
known
it
her,
yeah.
like you would know that she doesn't like roses type of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, and like when I was in high school, we had a kid die in an accident, and what the counselors were doing made us really upset because they were like sitting in his seat in order to say like, well, so you don't like see the loss or the empty seat.
Oh,
And we're like,
God.
no,
Yeah,
like no one
that's
can
not
replace
okay.
him. Like, and basically by like towards half the day they did it. And then people were giving them so much grief for doing it that they stopped. But it was just, and then, people were upset that didn't even know him. You know, they were like acting like it was a big deal. And it was like,
oh my
you didn't
God,
know
I can't
him.
believe
Like,
Billy died. And it's like, it was Bobby.
Right.
fucking piece of shit.
Exactly. So it's just, yes, you do get a lot of that in real life, I think.
Mhm.
So
That infuriating feeling too. I feel like if they played a little stronger into it in the series, that would also serve as another deterrent too.
mhm.
Yeah.
True.
Not necessarily good for TV or for entertainment though, because right.
They have a
It's
message
something-
to tell, but they have to tell it effectively enough for people to be interested and entertained.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Otherwise, why even go about doing it?
Oh, I do have one more thing I want to say about the show that I forgot to mention. So something good that they did is they made the rapist in the show seem like a good guy, like a likable character, and just overall, like, you know, a lot of people like him. And so it's basically like kind of saying that because most rapes happen from somebody you do know. And so like a lot of it kind of plays into that, saying like, you know, somebody who seems likable can commit, you know, very terrible things.
I will say I fucking hated that guy. Like the moment I saw him, I was
Oh.
like, I cannot stand this guy. He's
True.
a shady bastard.
Oh yeah.
Was it her friend's ex-boyfriend?
No.
No, I don't think
No.
so.
It was a jock, basically, another jock. And I liked that they did that. And then another girl who was actually raped by him was saying, you know, like, well, even if I do tell people that this happened to me, it's basically going to be her suffering for it if she has to tell, you know, her parents and all this and the community. You know, she's going to be the one who's embarrassed by it because, you know, a lot of rapists
untouchable
don't.
within his
Right.
society.
Exactly. Like a lot of rapists don't get punished for what they've done. And like, you know, they would blame her for getting drunk and stuff. So she's like, well, what's the point if I tell anybody if nothing's going to come of it except for my embarrassment type thing?
They took those serious topics, and I think they gave them the like most consideration and respect as you possibly could for it. I think they tried to portray it as accurately and as multifaceted as possible.
So
It's an excellent show. It's got that like high school teen drama that I
Mhm.
really couldn't give a shit about.
Right.
But I mean, it is high school teen drama, so I can't complain about that too much. But I think ultimately the goals that it sets out to achieve, it does quite well.
Right.
I like your guys' thoughts on that. Speaking of accurate representation and things of that nature, I finished a series. I didn't actually put this on the docket. I kind of just remembered about it.
It's
It's
fine.
the free for all. Go for it.
Called The Get Down Part 2.
I have wanted to watch that so bad.
So
Why have I not watched it yet?
So, for those who have not seen it or do not know about it, it is a show about kind of like the get up of the hip hop world. So it's like right around that era of, I think in part 1, the good lord, the New York blackout actually happened.
Is that your package?
That's my package. I got a package.
Let's go do it.
So the So like the New York blackout happens during part 1. So it's
Wait.
kind of like,
Do we need to get the package?
I could get it.
Okay. Sorry.
if nothing else, for Lizzie to actually just shut the dog up.
How'd they find the studio?
But yeah, so basically the show's just
It's about the get up of the hip hop industry, right?
kind of actually.
And hip hop culture.
So
just goes to show you how disconnected you are. We don't say get up, we say get down. Get down with it.
actually you do say get up.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you got to get up.
Shows how
Dude, you need
Actually,
to
one part of the hip
disconnected
hop
I am.
one part of the hip hop movement is the get up. So basically,
Get up. Ah.
get on up,
Get on up.
get on the scene.
What
Like a sex machine.
can't think of his name now.
James Brown?
Yeah, James Brown.
Man, you're missing out on a lot of good stuff.
At that point, yeah. So anyway, so I've been watching the Get Down. So part 1 and part 2 are about the struggles of the black community during like the heroin heroin, meth, and things of that nature,
Mhm.
like running rampant in the ghettos. And it's about this kid who likes to do poetry. And he meets this guy who wants to become a DJ under Grandmaster Flash called Shaolin Fantastic.
Mm.
And they kind of form their own little crew to like start doing hip hop battles and DJ battles and things of that nature. But basically, it's a really accurate depiction. At least I think it's an accurate depiction between what I've actually seen and heard about that time period of what life was actually like during that time. So it's like one reason that hip hop music actually like took off the way it did was because of the, God dang it, I really wish I knew what year that blackout was.
I'll look it up for you.
In
Keep
LA.
going, yeah.
No,
No,
not the
no.
LA riots.
That's about Rodney King.
yeah.
Oh,
That was
okay.
after. Way after.
Is it in the 80s?
1977.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and
the
that sounds
77
about right
blackout.
because you have that move from the like
Disco.
funk and
So basically
disco
it's about
culture.
kids rebelling against the disco culture. But like, so the 1977 blackout was when hip hop really took off because a lot of people wanted to become DJs, but as I'm pretty sure all three of you know, working in things around the musical genre, that music instruments are expensive. During that blackout, the day after, everybody and their mother had expensive DJ equipment they couldn't afford. They had good speakers and sound systems that they could just take out to the park and just start messing around with. Because black people loot.
All people loot.
All people loot.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, so not really any riots, just a lot of looting at that point. But yeah, so this show kind of goes in that time. And for Neil, the 3 parts of the hip hop movement: b-boys, hip hop music, and graffiti. The graffiti's the get up, basically. You want to get up.
Okay.
So you got to get your pieces up. So in their crew, the DJ, he was a drug dealer. There was the poet who actually had some sort of future and he was trying to do it, and like they kind of do a future cut. So it starts off with the main character. He's just telling a story, but he's actually in the middle of a concert. He's just doing a concert and kind of just telling his entire life story. So it's a several-hour concert.
So you know he's quote unquote made it,
Yes. So you know he's made it.
and we're watching his ascension to that point.
It's the future cut.
It's all about the
Future
future,
cut, baby.
So you know exactly what's happening. And
Yeah.
basically there's this big push and pull because he is black and Puerto Rican. So
Mm.
he's kind of got those two things going on. His mother's dead. His father's dead. So he's also an orphan. So he's kind of like, it's like applying for places like Harvard and things like that. And he's got to deal with being like that token black guy.
Does he also have to deal with the issue of just like trying to balance a like role in each community?
Mhm.
Because that's another thing that seems to come up a lot with like, if you're of mixed race, sometimes it's hard to get like fit in with either
one.
yeah,
So
flat group.
So they kind of find their like thing inside of hip hop with the projection of disco. So basically it's like, yes, I am African American at this point. I really like this. Music is setting me free. And it's just a really good show. And like part one, I was like, okay, this is good. It's a little bit drama-y. And there's like a lot of setup. It's like, it's a really slow build because they're introducing a lot of characters. So their crew consists of 4 dudes and their DJ. So it's 5 guys that they're introducing there. And then there's the love interest, Mylene Cruz, who is on her way to becoming like a disco star.
Mm.
So it's like, it's just really convoluted and crazy. And then they've got like historical figures of who was actually mayor back in the day and what they were actually doing back in the day, reflecting upon the actual fiction of the show.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And
So-
this is not a dramatized, like autobiographical story. This is actually a fictional character, or is
No, this is actually a fictional character because, oh
There-
God, what is his name?
They're probably using the fictional character
I
essentially
think
as
so,
that like
yeah.
the objective lens of the times.
So yeah, so like they mention like real things, but Mylene Cruz, I've never actually heard of her, and she apparently like stole a role from, oh God, Kathy Holloway? No. Some famous disco star lady. Either way, doesn't matter. And one of the guys in their crew, he does graffiti and things like that. So it's like just all facets of that.
Okay, so there's a question that obviously all of us want to know, and me especially. How's the music?
Real good.
Okay.
If you like,
Is there any like original stuff in it as well? Or?
it's pretty much all original. So like Grandmaster Flash is
even
featured
better.
heavily in the first season
Uh-huh.
because Shaolin Fantastic's learning how to DJ from Grandmaster Flash.
Right.
So basically they're just like, they're kind of getting to know everything. So the music's not original in the sense of they're taking disco break beats and mixing them together.
Right.
But then like all the rhymes and stuff are just like completely original.
That's really cool. That is what I was hoping I would get out of it at the very least. I'm gonna go watch this.
I will tell
probably
you,
within the week.
part 2 is better than part 1.
Okay.
I do like when they're learning how to rap and stuff like that because it's completely new. One of the characters, he's like having some trouble, and then the main character's like, "Hey, Shaolin, play that at half speed." And then you find out that character is like the Twista of that time. So he's just like, I can't really rap slow.
Holy
but
shit.
then everything he does, he raps super fast. And you're just like, yeah.
Oh my
They
gosh.
didn't do that back in the day, but yeah. But yeah.
There's some good shows out.
Yeah, there really is.
And across the board too, not centered on one specific genre either.
Right.
But they all happen to be on Netflix right now.
Or Hulu, like
Or
Handmaid's
Hulu.
Tale.
Handmaid's Tale,
yeah,
that's right.
And Harlots.
That's right.
So it's kind of interesting because they're like independent, like they're Netflix originals or Hulu originals.
I'm really glad that media is like skewing to those.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Legion at all, by the way?
We did not. I
Oh
don't
my
think so.
gosh.
I can't believe I never mentioned Legion.
Well,
I also
get into it.
Did we still need to watch the last
I
episode?
think- yeah, we have
okay.
one more
Anyway,
left.
so Legion is also something I've been watching. It's a X-Men show, basically. It's in the X-Men universe. It's a FXX original, written by it's written by some guy who also wrote like a bunch of really good shows. But so basically it's about this mutant who has schizophrenia, but he's a telepath. So if you guys saw Logan, it's kind of like what Professor X was going through during that with the seizures and all that stuff. But instead he had split personality disorder, depression, things like that. So it kind of starts off with him in a psychiatric hospital.
So and I didn't watch Logan, and I'll probably be kind of out of this, but to keep it really condensed and simplified, his schizophrenia, is that a phenotype of someone who just has like that telekinetic, like multiple consciousness, like I guess colliding at once in his head?
We shouldn't.
That what it
should
is?
we give away what it is?
Yes and no.
I'm not gonna. I probably won't watch it, but
we are warning people about spoilers.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
Okay.
So
spoilers ahead. Ahoy! Spoilers ho!
So they kind of keep throwing you for loops throughout this entire
Right.
show. Basically, they're like, he has schizophrenia. Then it's like, no, you have powers. The voices that you're hearing, that's your telepathy. Here's how you control that. And then they're like, sweet. And then they're like, but what's this random thing? So there's also this mental mutant parasite in his brain
Yeah.
that also has telekinetic powers.
So basically,
So he's got split personality disorder because there's actually
Between him and the
another
parasite.
personality
Right.
in his head.
and that's the thing that's been making him messed up because it like shows him things that aren't
that
there.
aren't there.
And
It's rewrite. So basically, every time as he's growing up, that he figures out that this thing's there,
It rewrites his memory or something.
Right.
rewrites his
Yeah.
memory.
Yeah.
It erases his existence.
Yeah.
So he's going completely crazy. And then once they figure that out, they're like, okay, I'm not sick. So they go, I'm sick. I'm not sick. I'm a mutant. Wait, I'm actually sick. There's a second mutant in my head. Then they're just like, okay,
I'm not
good.
sick. Yeah.
I'm not sick. I completely understand this. And we're dealing with it.
stuff gets trippy though. Oh man.
And you're just like, what's real? What's not? Because one of
Right.
the characters that's featured heavily in this show is the sourpuss girl from Parks and Recreation.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
April Ludgate?
Yes.
She's in this.
I love
Janet
it.
Snake Oil?
Yeah.
Is that her name?
That's her persona with Burt Macklin, FBI agent.
Oh.
Oh my God. I love those two.
She is-
Yeah, she's a great actress.
The actress's name is Aubrey Plaza.
Okay.
I adore her.
Yeah. She's awesome in the show.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
And she's like featured heavily in the show. And then you're like, I killed Lenny because one of the characters can swap bodies.
Mm-hmm.
But if they swap bodies with another mutant, they get that mutant's powers. And since he's hearing voices, has schizophrenia, and all this stuff going on, she ends up killing Lenny. And she's like, I killed Lenny. And then whenever you see Lenny in the rest of the show, you're just like, oh, because the main character's back in his own head. Obviously, he's got schizophrenia. This is why he's showing it. Then you're like, Lenny's a fucking parasite. Lenny's been haunting this kid for fucking ever.
Oh my God.
And then they're like, okay, we're going to find the truth. So the other characters go deep into his background to like figure out what happened. And you're just like, yeah, that's true, right? Then they're like, no, Lenny was Benny at one point.
This sounds
Like
so
it was yeah.
wildly complex.
It's
super trippy. And Lizzie still hasn't even seen the end, so I can't even give like everything away. There's still shit that's going to go down.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, because like it was funny because they were trying to look into his past and they're like, well, what about this friend of his? Like, was he like a negative influence on him? Or like, was she a negative influence on him? And they're like, oh, actually, it's a he.
Yeah.
So
Lenny
like
was
they
Benny.
see different, like people had seen different
And then
versions of it.
He constantly talks about whenever the main character talked about his past, he's like, yeah, my dog, King. I loved
yeah.
King. And then like the sister's being tortured in like a random facility. And she talks to one of his therapists and she's like, oh yeah, King. And she's like, doctor, we
He
never
didn't
had a
exist.
dog.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
Oh my
What
god.
is real?
Yeah.
He's allergic to dogs.
It's really good, but it's kind of a far out there show, so I feel like not everybody's going to enjoy it. But like people who like the weird stuff, I think they would really enjoy
It's
it.
far out. It's real far out.
It is.
Scott's got a shitting eating grin right now.
The shitting eating grin. Yeah.
Shit-eating.
Like I'm both trying to get food in my mouth and make room.
Yeah, it's really good. I actually really enjoyed it. And which is surprising because a lot of superhero stuff that's coming out right now feels like it's just regurgitated.
It's
like,
so hackneyed.
it's
All that stuff
just-
makes me want to scream.
yeah,
Makes me
it's
want a
it's
chicken
no
scream.
good. Yeah, and so
Segue.
this was actually like, yeah, like it's actually decent, which is because is it partially made by Marvel?
You would imagine.
I think
It's
so.
at least licensed out by Marvel. I
Right.
forget who actually makes it.
But if it's an extension of the X-Men
No.
franchise, and I'm wondering
owns
if it's
X-Men?
Disney, not Disney. Who is?
God damn it,
Is it
who owns
Fox?
X-Men?
Sorry, guys. I don't
No,
care.
yeah, it's gotta be
I-
Fox because it's on FX. The show's on FX.
Oh, okay.
So
Wait, is FX Fox without the O? I didn't realize that. Holy
and they're
cow.
also FXX, which is another TV channel that they own.
Huh.
Yeah, but so it's interesting, but you have to know that it is definitely out there.
There are crazy implications
Mm.
in this show.
So I hear the two of you have been playing a couple games together. One of which involves
Screaming
at your phone or mobile
Yes.
device.
Yes.
So I randomly saw this video on Facebook of this game, and the person was like playing it, and I was like, "Oh, I want to try that." So it's called Chicken Scream or Scream Chicken. Which one? I don't know. It's one
I've
of
got it
those.
I
on my
imagine
phone.
it's chicken scream.
Chicken Scream.
Okay,
Mine just
and
says chicken.
Just chicken.
and what you do is like it's all based on your voice. So you to get him to walk, you kind of you make like a noise, like a regular monotone, like you're talking or something, and then to get him to jump, you have to scream. And so I was playing this game, and my dog was freaking out because he couldn't understand why I was screaming, and he was very concerned for me. But I did notice when I first started playing the game, so the game has music in the background, right? And I was like, well, this game's crap because it's not doing what I'm telling it to do. Well, it's because the mic was picking up the music it was playing. So that's definitely a fault in the game. Like
That's
you shouldn't
shitty like
Yeah, like
The
you shouldn't play
developer should have thought
noise.
about
Yeah, if it's going to affect the game. And so I had to turn my volume on my phone all the way down. And then it started actually listening to what I was trying to tell it. So at first I was like, well, this game's dumb. It wasn't like the video I saw, but then I got it to work.
Do you guys talk to your chicken or do you sing to your chicken?
I make indiscriminate noises at my chicken.
me too.
But
'Cause
I
it's-
also thought this game was buggy and did not realize. I knew that it was picking up the noise because every time I would like collect a coin, he would jump again, and I'm like, "You fucking chicken!"
Oh, I know. That's why you have to turn your phone all the way down.
So I just hated this game. I played it twice, and I was just like, "Fuck this game."
Gotcha. I do like scat at my chicken, like.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Bow.
Oh, I need to do this now. Dang it.
I have two main issues, gripes with this game. And I should note too that the people that made Chicken Scream also made Crossy Roads or Crossy Road. I can't remember if it's plural or not.
Road.
And also Pac-Man 365. So these
Whoa.
guys
Oh, wow.
have done some work in the past.
They're
and
hot
they're real
shots.
good.
365. That one.
Yeah, the
Nice.
Endless Runner Pac-Man game. Now, I don't remember that blatant terrible issue with ads in either of those games.
Oh, yeah.
There's no payment option in this game to get rid of the ads either. And
Oh.
it's not like you can buy coins to get more chicken skins where you could in Crossy Road. You just have to watch these ads or skip out of them. It's a giant pain in the
Yeah,
ass
it
because
is.
there
It
are
is.
a lot of ads.
There are. And I didn't even realize. So I just assumed, because I always get the free version of stuff. So I just assumed that there was a paid version that could get rid of it. I didn't even look into it.
And I could be wrong, but for I was not going to buy it, mind you,
Right,
but I
right.
wanted to just see where the option was and how much it was. I could not find it.
Wow.
So that's my first gripe.
Unlock chickens.
That's
Oh,
legitimate.
remove all ads. $1.99.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
It's in the
Damn.
shop.
There you go.
And you can also.
See, I just
unlock
figured
chicken
it
apparently
out.
bad at pay to play type games, I guess, or something. The other, and that's not bad. $2
that's not too
to
bad.
do that. The other issue I have is that for whatever reason, my phone is not compatible with this game.
Oh.
Your phone does look old.
Yes, it is. It's old. But that being said, you would not think that the audio input into the program would be the issue.
Right.
But that's what it is.
What version of Android are you running?
Shit, Droid?
So it's not Nugget.
Nugget?
The
We've moved
new-
from ice cream and desserts into food?
I think. Well,
Well, Nougat is.
I'm running Nougat.
Oh,
yeah.
Nougat.
I think
thought
I'm
you said
running-
Nugget.
I think I'm running Marshmallow on mine.
Yeah, Marshmallow was the one before Nougat, and I gotta
For
say,
obvious reasons.
yeah, Nougat's pretty
Because
great.
Nougat also starts with an N.
It
and
wasn't.
Marshmallow's an M.
Yeah, and so what's O gonna be?
Is that how they do it?
Yeah.
Mm,
Oh.
They're all based of.
I
They're all based
really
off of
like
candies.
that.
Oh, nice.
It's almost like when you name like weather phenomena
Maybe
with
it'll be Oreo.
alternating alphabetical,
Oh, yeah.
different
Yeah.
gendered
It
names.
could be Oreo because they licensed out Kit Kat.
You know, for hurricanes, they
that'd be
actually,
great.
if they're really bad hurricanes, they'll actually take that name off the list. So it's never
Yeah.
used again.
Yeah, it's funny.
Did they just start doing that over the last few years?
No,
or-
I think it's
hurricanes?
been a
I think
thing
they-
for a while.
take it off the list so you
Yeah.
can't use
Yeah,
it.
so you
don't
can't-
use
I get
it.
you.
Yeah,
So-
like Hurricane Katrina will never be.
Never be used
yeah.
again.
I think
Yes.
there are two reasons for that. One is obviously like you probably want to have good and non-confusing like cataloging of Hurricane Katrina because it was such a major event.
Right.
And two, like you also
So you
don't want to like be,
Build fear in people.
yeah, there's like a
in the
triggering
public.
effect when you
Yeah.
hear Hurricane
Yeah.
Katrina now.
Right.
So
Exactly.
my other issue, or the issue I'm having with this particular app on my phone,
I do have Nugget.
it will not let me process audio fluidly. So your
what?
microphone icon goes solid when you talk or when you sing or when you yell. It's a
Does
solid
yours
color.
light up whenever it catches?
blinks.
Okay.
So
Oh.
that means my chicken is constantly going at a staggered rate.
So is
it's
it
going instead
move
of
forward, stop,
instead
move
of hearing
forward, stop.
instead of hearing it's hearing.
Yep.
Yeah. So does that just mean that it's sampling much slower than ours?
I'm not sure.
Is that why
Although I
you
think
sounded
my
like?
chicken was jumpy a little bit too.
Is that why you sounded super digitized on the voice chat?
Maybe like this. Yeah. The thing is, it's not the microphone itself either because I plugged in my like
Headset.
more expensive than it should have been pair of Sennheisers that have a built-in microphone. So I'd be bypassing the internal mic on the phone, and I was still having that issue. Yeah.
Well, you can just scream at your chicken for a different reason.
True. I want to do. I want to scat at it now, like you're saying.
Tell me how it goes.
I
That should be
tried
cool.
talking, and I think it was taking too much thought, and then my chicken would die.
Oh.
I know. So
Also, have there been any other games you two have been playing?
So
just
we
crawl.
played a little more Crawl, and we recently picked up Mario Kart 8.
Right.
Not much to discuss on Mario Kart 8 besides it's
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right?
Touche.
Deluxe.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. Bringing it back. Not much to say on it yet, just because
We've only played it a little bit.
we've only played
Yeah.
a little bit. It runs really nice and smooth. The screen is surprisingly big enough for the two of us to play in tabletop mode,
Oh,
so we don't have to worry about.
really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm surprised by that. That's cool.
I
Yeah.
do
It is a horizontal split, correct?
vertical.
Vertical.
Yeah, it's vertical.
Oh, but the Switch is a wider viewing screen, I
Right,
guess,
Yeah.
so that's
right.
fine. You get you essentially get a square to
Right,
look at,
right.
and that's fine because old TVs. The issue was
Right.
is that you got like this thin slice, and you had no peripheral vision.
And all you could see was the sky.
Yeah, you can see the sky or the road up ahead, and then you're like, but I mean, left and right. I'll just guess. You know?
Although I will say, one of the computers we were playing with took a shortcut, and now I really want to.
Know where
I
it's at.
couldn't. Yeah, I don't think I could see it because of the screen, possibly, or just that I didn't know where it was.
I thought the shortcuts on what is it, Fast RMX were like nearly impossible to find.
Oh my god,
When
those
we were
are
playing?
real hard to find.
Yeah. I love shortcuts in racing games. I think
Yeah.
they're great. I also love that Mario Kart, although it's like a family, you can all play together and everybody have fun. Some of their shortcuts are like super punishing. It's like,
Oh yeah,
you
Super
fuck
duper
this up
punishing.
and you're
exactly.
done.
Like Rainbow Road.
It's
if you get it, you are in the lead no matter what.
Yeah.
Like you will get first. But if you don't, you're
It's
no, you're
the
screwed.
secret that your dad executes when you're a kid and you're just like, why can't I beat him? Why is this impossible?
Isn't the Rainbow Road shortcut one that was not
It's
designed
not
It's-
right.
it-
Not
it got-
designed to be
You're talking about the
just
jump?
like
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
That jump.
I don't have those. I don't have balls of steel
I
here.
know.
So I actually saw this little video on Facebook, and it says how you play Mario Kart 8. It says how you play Mario Kart when your girl says, "If I beat you, I get to search through your phone." And it's like the first episode, the guy like spins out. Not the first episode, the first race of like Mario Kart 64.
64, I think.
He
right?
Yeah. So he like spins out, hits himself with a green shell, gets popped over a retaining wall.
So he
gets
like
directly
glitches over the.
Yeah, he glitches over the wall, gets directly into a tunnel, then somehow like spins himself out again, glitches through the wall, back to the start of the race to finish the lap.
Yeah.
And he does this 3 times.
Oh
yeah,
my
so it's a
God.
speed run thing. Yeah,
And you're just like, oh,
it
okay.
is great.
But so with,
There's also another one that someone does with the Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo, and I think that their racing is like DK, and there's this frozen lake where the center is all broken ice, and then the track just goes around it, and they just hop from like icicle to icicle,
wow.
or
Yeah,
like
that's
ice
cool.
platform. It is insane because their precision is unrivaled. Like it's another one of those things where you see people play to a game to the extent that you're just like, I don't think I have enough time
Right.
to ever
I-
get that good.
am super excited for this podcast when Games Done Quick starts up, because we can talk about
Oh
that.
yeah,
That's right.
But I have to say, okay, I didn't realize there was a U-turn thing in
Oh, yeah.
Mario Kart.
So
I don't know
Mario
if this
Kart
is
8
new.
Deluxe,
Is it new?
I have no idea. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has a like tips and tricks section that you can actually go to.
Mm-hmm.
So it tells you right after it says 2, that's when you want to push the gas to get the speed boost at the very
So it
beginning.
actually
Yeah.
tells you.
And it
when.
also says, hey, if you're facing the wrong way, while you're going forward, if you push A and B at the same time and hook either left or right, you're going
You'll
to
whip
pull
around.
You'll
around.
do a 180,
Nice.
and it's like what? I don't
know,
even know
if
that
I
was
were
a
real
thing.
advanced and in the lead, I'd like pull a 180, shoot a green shell head on with somebody, and then I'd pull another 180.
It's crazy.
Gotcha.
Pull a driver San Francisco, basically.
Yeah.
Not driver San Francisco. Just any kind of driver. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Happy times. So besides Mario Kart 8, I've also been playing. Haven't had a chance to play with Lizzie yet, unfortunately, because time and life. But I've been playing quite a bit of Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Oh my gosh, yes, we used to play that as kids.
I love this game.
My brother would always kick my ass in it, so I kind of had a love-hate relationship with the game.
So have you guys played Puyo Puyo?
No, I have no idea what you're
It's
talking
so
about.
fun.
Have you guys played
good.
Tetris?
It's a good game.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Tetris is.
I haven't. What is this Tetris? No.
I'm pulling up a video right now.
So Puyo Puyo is kind of like I'm just guessing it's the Japanese version of Tetris. So instead of making lines with blocks, you have to get 4 Puyos. So they're these little
Gummies?
squishy gummy
Yeah.
things
Mm.
touching each other, and they disappear. And then you've got to create like chains of
Chain
them
reactions,
disappearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you get more
They're-
points.
I've played something similar. I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
it wasn't like Bejeweled or Gem or something like that on the like old Windows computers games would have it.
Yeah, it's
Something
something like
like
that.
it.
Something like it, yeah. I
So,
feel like there was a version for Super Nintendo. I don't
Of
remember.
Puyo Puyo?
Yeah,
More than likely.
I don't remember because it was way back in the day, but we had a version of this as kids.
Was there not like a Kirby
It looks like
version
there's a
kinda
lot
like
of
this?
game modes for this too.
I
Yeah.
honestly do not remember because it was so long ago.
Either way. Yeah, so Puyo Puyo has been around for a while. And so Puyo Puyo Tetris is kind of like multiplayer Tetris with multiplayer Puyo Puyo. There are multiple modes you can do. You could do a stand-up just like versus mode where you're either playing Puyo Puyo against someone playing Tetris, or you're playing Tetris against someone playing Tetris,
Or Puyo Puyo.
and Puyo Puyo
Yeah.
or Tetris and Puyo Puyo. Doesn't matter. Then one mode that I really like is called Switch Mode, where you're playing a board of Puyo Puyo and a board of Tetris at the same time.
I saw that and it was really overwhelming.
And
Yeah.
so basically every like 10 or 15 seconds,
You flip
it
between
flips
the two.
between the two, and you've got to just knock everybody out. Then there's this other mode on there called Mix Mode or something around that line, where you're playing Puyo Puyo and
that
Tetris.
has Tetris rules, right? Or
No, it's Puyo Puyo and Tetris on the same board.
Are you using top buttons to move one? And
So they're still dropping it one at a time. So they'll like drop a couple of Puyo Puyo pieces. They'll drop a
And then
couple of
blocks.
Tetris pieces. And it's like with the Tetris pieces, you're still trying to get those in a line. And with the Puyo Puyo pieces, you're still trying to get them to touch for 4 to break them up. The thing that makes this doable is the Tetris pieces are heavier than the Puyo Puyo pieces. So what they'll do is
do they squish them?
they'll squish them down,
Oh,
and the Puyo Puyo pieces will disappear for a short little second, but then they'll drop down on top of the Tetris pieces. So the Tetris pieces are always going to be at the bottom of the bottom of the
Oh.
rack. But you've got to be careful with how many Puyo Puyo pieces are going to be coming down on that. Because if you put the wrong piece down, you're going to lose because you've got all these Puyo Puyo pieces and they're going to touch the top at
Yeah.
that point.
that makes sense. That's cool.
This is made by Nintendo, right?
This is made by.
it's on the Nintendo Switch.
It's on the Nintendo. I just wondered because when we were kids playing it, it looks the exact same. The Puyo Puyos.
It's Sega.
So,
Okay.
oh, is it? Okay.
Sega.
I
was
should have
gonna say,
known
'cause
because
it
they got
looks-
this cute little like Sega
I feel like
thing that goes on at the very
That's-
beginning.
the one we played was very similar to that one because it looks so similar. But I don't know.
I really
I
like
don't
the
know
idea
what
of
it was.
combining the two games together because you can use the Tetris pieces to realign your Puyo Puyo pieces.
Yes.
There's some really interesting mechanics there.
Either way, that's kind of what I've been playing.
And then it would crush the not good Puyo Puyo.
oh yeah, and like junk Puyo Puyo that would be dropped down on top of you because when you're playing multiplayer Tetris, as someone like makes Tetris blocks disappear, they throw junk on you. Instead, it's always throwing junk Puyo Puyo. So one thing you can do with the Tetris pieces is drop it. The usable Puyo Puyo will come back. All the junk ones will stay gone forever.
Mm.
So that helps.
Yeah.
So you clear your board
Right.
by
Mhm.
squishing
Right.
them. Okay.
Yeah, Puyo Puyo Tetris Neil
How do you spell Puyo?
Puyo.
Puyo? Puyo?
So
There we
I
go. That one.
Googled it
PUYO.
under POYO And I got, did you mean Pouyo?
Wait, what?
Like,
Pouyo? Really? It asked.
yeah, Puyo. Yeah, and then I got, wait, did I say that? No, I'm sorry. Puyo.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Yeah, that seems to be.
I
the
was
correct
trying to
spelling.
add an extra O. It looks cute.
That's another game I'll have to add to the list of.
Did you know
things to
that-
buy.
Did you know that Puyo is looks like a cat anime?
Puyo Puyo.
Puyo Puyo Kanatsuniki, Japanese animated series. It's about a cat.
Oh yeah, I think I've actually seen this before. Not seen any episodes, but I think I've seen the anime before.
This
Like,
makes me want to
reference.
watch Hamtaro.
I think this cat's more
Oh, I'm
cuter,
sorry.
cuter than Hamtaro.
This cat is cuter than Hamtaro, but I do want to watch Hamtaro because he was a feisty little toaster. He was the brave little toaster, but Japanese children style.
And
He was a hamster.
a hamster.
Oh, so yeah, this week I haven't really had a whole lot of time to do much. I did want to point out though that I had been playing more Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time. That game gets really hard, at least for two people, as you get further into it. To the point where I wonder if some of these, like, I wonder if the last boss is even going to be possible with two people.
Oh.
And maybe I'm taking it a little too far. We hit one boss, Tiff and I did, that we could not figure out a way to do it until we had to start cheesing the Yamato cannon. I won't go into the mechanics too much, but we were just in ultra conservative mode. I did also find out that this game is actually applicable, or something that you could play as one person.
What?
Yeah, the way they handle that, because you have to multitask to play it, is that they introduce a space pet. It's either a cat or a dog, and you give it orders by holding the Y button, and then you direct it to a station.
Oh, wow. That
So
sounds
does
hard.
that mean that you're essentially able to be in two spaces at once, but you still have to do the
You still have
same
to-
like input?
The space pet AI will handle that station,
Oh, okay.
and from
So
what I saw, it does a very good job doing it.
But I would never give them engines, right? Because why
Yeah,
would
I'm assuming I don't know if they can even use the engines,
Okay.
but they can do guns and shields.
Yeah, with 4 people, it didn't seem too bad. It seemed almost a little easy, I would say.
Yeah.
We were also doing
We were
like the
good.
first 2 episodes.
True.
Which the
Levels.
last boss we faced, the most recent boss we faced, I think we would have had troubles with. Maybe not as much of an issue, but it was just you needed someone on shields and engines at the same time,
Wow.
but you also needed offense. Otherwise,
Right.
you were not going to win the
Right.
DPS race.
Wow.
But
Yeah, so I think 4 people could do that.
I'd be interested in
Trying.
tackling it again sometime,
Yeah.
but maybe for another day. Let's take a breather, and when you guys see us back again, we'll be talking about some more specific topics.
Sounds good.
DPS,
Peace.
dividends per share.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
I'm going through my brokerage licensing right now. So they're like, every time you see the symbol DPS, it's dividends per share. I was like, oh, this is going to be difficult.
I'm gonna be offering a lot of damage per second to clients.